I am an Android user, and for most of my life, I have always used the Samsung smartphones or the Google smartphones. But yes, this one over here is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I recently completely switched to this device over here. Whereas in the previous times, I used to use the iPhone as my secondary device, but this one over here right now is my primary smartphone, and the Google Pixel 8 Pro is the secondary one. And today in this video, I want to talk about a few things that are just possible with this iPhone 15 Pro Max. And as a lot of people say that the features on the iPhones are copied from the Android counterparts, I think that this video over here will be proving that thing wrong, because there are a few features that are exclusive to iPhone and a few of them that are just very exclusive to this iPhone 15 Pro Max. And I'm not switching back to the Android smartphones as my primary device until all those features that are like on this iPhone 15 Pro Max, they are available on the Android counterpart as well. So let me talk about all those features that I want to share in this video, and the number one being is the automations on this iPhones, the latest ones with this action button over here, because this is something amazing. Now, there are different ways of using automations on your latest iPhones, just like selecting an action to change the battery optimization mode if your battery has reached about 80% of the charge limit, or creating a sound action whenever you plug in your iPhone. And this is particularly useful when you go back to sleep, because sometimes you just do not plug in your iPhone or any smartphone properly, and by this way you make sure that your iPhone is connected properly with the charging cable. But I have two other favorite things that I just love about this automation feature on this iPhone 15 Pro Max. The number one thing is the sneak prevention, and this is particularly useful whenever you give your smartphone to your wife or your friend or your girlfriend or someone, and you do not want them to sneak into your WhatsApp messages or iMessages or the Facebook messages, and so much so, because I have created an automation that takes a photograph. When someone just tries to open the application itself, it will take the photograph from the selfie camera and it will save into the gallery, and it automatically closes the application as well for you. So yes, I think this is one of the most useful feature. The second thing is recording without interruptions. So this one over here is particularly a lifesaver for me, because sometimes when I'm shooting a video with this iPhone 15 Pro Max, I forget to put this smartphone into a do not disturb mode. So whenever I'm into the camera application, my camera application just turns, or I would say it notifies the automation application that it needs to turn on the do not disturb camera mode, and it does enable it. And whenever you come out of this camera application, it just again turns off the do not disturb mode. Or maybe you can also set it to something like the work mode or the personal mode, or anything that you would like to set by this automation over here. So this is particularly a useful feature for people who are into content creation and who loves to record videos on the go. So yes, this is something that I really like about this one over here. And also sometimes, whenever I'm recording a video, I have turned on the do not disturb mode, but I do not want it to be enabled at the end of that video, and I forget it completely until the next day. I think this is also one useful thing for that case scenario as well. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about in this video is the shortcuts on this iPhone 15 Pro Max, because yes, this is particularly useful for a lot of ways, and I'm sure you will find a lot of videos about creating shortcuts on your latest iPhones. But the ones that I particularly like are these ones over here. The number one is the personalized home screen that you can get with this shortcut feature on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now first, I can make my iPhone stand out by creating icons the way that I like them and personalizing my home screen. I have matched the black icons with the vibrant wallpapers and a few other standout icons which are not black on my home screen. What other Android smartphone that that is able to do the very same? Now I can individually control each and every icon on my home screen. I just do not need a skin or an icon pack to be applied on this thing over here, and whenever I need them, I can search all those particular applications in the search bar and also in the app library. The second thing that I want to show over here is the action button customization, and this is also one of the best features that I liked about this iPhone 15 Pro Max particulars. So this one, if I use this action button over here, as you can see, it will bring up the Arc browser, and I can pretty much ask this one anything that I want. For example, hey, can you tell me about the best places that I can visit in Toronto this summer? And all those places should be free of cost. And as you can see, it gives me the entire list of the places. It does take some time because it is AI based, but I can assure you one thing, that this feature over here is better than Siri. It is faster than Siri, and it will give you a summarized view of the search result from all the different links without you going to each and every link over the web. So yes, this thing over here, I think it is pretty amazing. I have also replaced my browser on this MacBook Pro 16 inches that I have, and this one over here is also now using the Arc browser just because of how awesome the AI features are there on this browser over here. And yes, this video over here is shot before the release of the iOS 18. So if there are some similar features that come into iOS 18 after filming this video, I think I would make another video about the very same. But you need to keep this thing in mind, and maybe the things are different after some time. Now, the next feature that I want to talk about on the iPhone 15 Pro Max that is particularly better on any iPhone is the pop-up notifications. And this is one thing that I did not just like about any Android smartphone that I have used in the recent, not the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, not the Google Pixel 8 Pro, not the Nothing smartphone or any smartphone that I have used in the recent. Now I'm talking about these pop-up notifications that you get whenever you get a code from your banking application, or maybe a two-factor authentication from Facebook, and so much so. Now the Android phones, especially the Samsung, are really bad at this, as these pop-up notifications are way too small, and sometimes you are not even able to copy those code even you do click on this code. And I think Apple just does this thing way much more better than the Android smartphone. I do not have to individually go into the iMessage every time to copy those codes. And yes, I think this is particularly the best feature on any iPhone versus the Android smartphones that we have in the market. A very small little detail that I think could be fixed with a software update. Now on to the next thing that I want to mention over here in this video are some of the exclusive recording feature on this iPhone 15 Pro Max that are lacking in even the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and the Google Pixel 8 Pro. And this is particularly, I think, even if those features are available with the software updates on the Android counterparts, I think iPhone just does it the very best. Now I'm talking about the features like recording in the log format, which is something that you can get only in a very good DSLR, or the closest alternative maybe something like the DJI Osmos Pocket 3. I think that that device over there, it just does the log format and the 10-bit format just very good in comparison to even this iPhone 15 Pro Max over here. So yes, I think that this makes a massive difference for the people who are into content creation and who just loves to color correct everything before they post a video online or YouTube or any other platform that these people are using. Now the next thing that I want to talk about in this video is the emulator performance on this iPhone 15 Pro Max versus what you have got on the Android smartphone. Now this thing is not particularly something that is exclusive to the iPhone, because I have used the emulator on the Android smartphones as well, and I have been using the very same thing from a long time. But I think with the latest updates on the iPhones, the emulators just work really well on these iPhones. I particularly use this Delta application, and I have used a lot of NES game, and also I connected the very same with my PlayStation 5 controller as well. And I can say that it just does not suck as much as what it does on the Android smartphone. I used it on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra in the past, and it does stutter a lot with a lot of times that the buttons, or I would say the on-screen controls, not working at all, or disconnecting the external controller, or the entire screen just freezes for a moment. But this is not the case that I saw by this iPhone 15 Pro Max. So something that I just wanted to talk about in this video as well, because I know there are a lot of people who love to play the NES games like Super Mario Bros. Or any other title that may be their childhood favorite game as well. So yes, I think I would give this one to the iPhones rather than giving it to the Android smartphones. And that was all about the list of the things that I think my iPhone can do a lot better than the Android counterparts. But this does not mean that the Android smartphones are not particularly good, because there are a lot of features on the Android smartphone as well that these iPhones cannot do. But this will break the myth that Apple is something that copies everything from the Android smartphones, because this one particularly over here can do a lot of things that no other Android smartphone can do at all. And that was all about this video. My name is Anshul. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.